Listen, I was originally going to look at something else today, but, well, Darth Vader came down from the planet Vulcan and said that if I didn't review a certain movie on this exact day at this exact time, he'd melt my brain. I don't really know why. I would have been perfectly willing to do it anyway, but I value my brain. So, without further ado, let's take a look at Back to the Future. Now, this is what I call a classic. Next to Ghostbusters, Back to the Future is one of the quintessential comedies of the 80s. Sporting lovable characters, a creative concept, and a unique charm, it's a film that's been cherished for years by audiences both old and young. However, some of you may be wondering why it's endured for so long. After all, on the surface, it might just seem like another time travel plot. There's no shortage of those in the entertainment industry. Well, like with any great movie, it's how this idea is utilized that makes all the difference. The story begins in 1985 with Marty McFly, a typical teenager growing increasingly unsatisfied with his parents and home life. One night, he's contacted by his friend, Dr. Emmett Brown, an eccentric scientist who reveals that he's built a time machine out of a DeLorean. Unfortunately, through an unforeseen set of circumstances, Marty uses this new invention and becomes stranded in the year 1955. To make things worse, his actions inadvertently prevent his parents from meeting. So, not only does he have to get the time machine operational, but he also has to convince mom and dad to fall in love so that he doesn't fade out of existence. As you can tell, much of the story revolves around Marty's parents, and that's precisely what makes this film so brilliant. Think about it. When we're growing up, many of us never really stop to consider that our parents were our age at one point. We just take them for granted as our parents. What kind of people were they in their younger years? Did they always have the same traits or habits? This movie explores these questions in a way that's both hilarious and oddly thought-provoking. Seeing how Marty reacts as he learns more and more about his mom and dad not only makes him easy to identify with, but it also gives the whole tale a sense of timelessness. Plus, it's just really funny.
My name is Darth Vader. I am an extraterrestrial from the planet Vulcan.
Part of that can be attributed to the performances. Michael J. Fox lends an exceedingly likable energy to the role of Marty, with his natural comedic timing and charisma making him an extremely endearing lead. Similarly, Christopher Lloyd is brilliant as Doc Brown. His kooky mannerisms and quirky deliveries make it impossible to take your eyes off him. However, as great as they are throughout the film, these two actors truly shine during their scenes together. The chemistry between them is pure magic. Seeing them play off of each other makes for plenty of amazingly comical exchanges as well as some genuinely heartfelt moments. The rest of the cast is also excellent. Crispin Glover gives a very nuanced performance as Marty's father George, doing an effective job of going from awkward to confident. In addition, Leah Thompson is pretty believable when portraying the naivete and youthful enthusiasm of Marty's mother Lorraine. Finally, we have Biff. This is a character that I should hate. He's a stereotypical bully with little to no depth. In spite of this, I never get tired of watching him, probably due to the fact that he's portrayed as a complete moron. He's supposed to be an egotistical idiot. As obnoxious as he gets, Thomas F. Wilson just brings a certain dim-witted charm to his performance that makes it difficult not to laugh at him, especially when he says one of his signature insults.
What are you looking at, butthead?
Speaking of which, this is honestly one of the most quotable movies out there. There are so many iconic lines in here that it's almost overwhelming.
Great Scott!
Whoa, this is heavy.
21 gigawatts!
My calculations are correct. When this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
Every bit as recognizable are the visuals. The production design is outstanding. The authentic sets, props, and costumes seamlessly immerse you in the different time periods. You're not going to confuse the 1950s Hill Valley with the 1980s Hill Valley. This is where it really helps to have Robert Zemeckis in the director's chair. His attention to detail and admiration for the technical aspects are apparent in how he crafts the film, taking the time to let the audience digest the marvels on screen. Of course, who could forget Alan Silvestri's score? I love this music. the main theme in particular. It perfectly captures the feelings of adventure, wonderment, and triumph. That's essentially one of the main appeals of the film as a whole. In the end, Back to the Future is a masterpiece that's just as exceptional now as it was 30 years ago, combining upbeat performances, meticulous direction, astounding production values, and a personal story that manages to be both comedic and surprisingly poignant. It's a fantastic film that definitely stands the test of time. Thanks for watching. Feel free to like, subscribe, and/or comment. Until next time.